the man of peace who approached life with deep faith and gratitude for God's blessings. Our bonds of belonging to the Franciscan family go back to 1882, when Blessed Mary of the Passion made her commitment within the Third Order Regular and invited her sisters individually to do the same. Entrance into the Franciscan order was not fully realized until 1885, when the name of the institute was changed from Missionaries of Mary to Franciscan Missionaries of Mary, and all the members of the Missionaries of Mary were received into the Third Order Regular. Article 5 of our Constitution states, "We realize our vocation within the Franciscan way, living the gospel in the midst of the world, and following in the steps of the poor and humble Christ in simplicity, peace, and joy." We live today in a country marked by deep wounds of violence. On our streets, in our schools and universities, in our churches, on the playing field, in our homes, and even in our hearts. Fear and division often seem stronger than hope, and too many lives are shattered by anger, hatred, or indifference. What can the spirituality of St. Francis of Assisi say to us in this moment? Francis began every encounter with the greeting, Pax et Bonum, peace and good. For him, peace was not a vague wish, but a way of life. It was rooted in his encounter with Christ, who made peace through the cross. To a culture that often seeks security through weapons or domination, Francis reminds us that true peace cannot be built on fear or power. It is born in reconciliation, humility, and respect for the dignity of every person. Peace begins in the heart and must be cultivated in families, neighborhoods, and communities. Francis crossed boundaries. He embraced the leper, whom others rejected. He dared to meet the Sultan during the time of war, choosing dialogue instead of the sword. Recognizing that all come from the same Father, his life teaches us that the other, whether neighbor or stranger, immigrant, minority or opponent, is not an enemy to fear, but a brother or sister to be loved. Violence thrives where people are dehumanized, when we forget that every human being is created in the image and likeness of God. Francis also stripped himself of worldly attachments to live simply and freely. Contempt for riches and the yearning to possess goods is a constant in the life of Francis and in all his writings. For him, the possession of goods, including intellectual goods such as knowledge, can become a source of power and domination and risk killing the fraternity among all peoples. St. Clare had the same aversion to riches and asked the Pope for the exceptional privilege of poverty for herself and her sisters. In a nation often bound by consumerism, competition, and the idol of control, the Franciscan way calls us back to simplicity, a deeper trust in God, and solidarity with the poor. A simpler way of life that does not rely on domination or fear. Our world is full of wounds, yet the Franciscan heart does not despair. It stays close to the broken, offering presence, healing, forgiveness, and non-violent action. A reminder that true power lies in healing, not harming. A Franciscan spirit tends the earth with reverence, knowing that violence against creation and violence against humanity is part of the same disregard for life. Francis faced violence in his own society, but chose to live in joy and wonder. The joy of accepting oneself as loved by a God of tenderness. Joy in contemplating in each person, in each creature, a reflection of divine love. He showed that peace comes through the freedom of knowing we are loved by God and called to be instruments of that love. In our present moment, the Franciscan message to us is clear. Choose peace over violence. See every person as brother or sister. Let go of fear and excess and live with simplicity. Heal wounds with mercy and compassion. Care for the earth as our common home. Embody hope through small daily acts of kindness and justice. And above all, walk with joy in the gospel. May the prayer of St. Francis guide us. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace.